Most manufacturers would have absolutely bitten your arm off if you told them they could finish second in the World Constructors' Championship and on 409 points, but not Mercedes. For the Brackley-based team, this could be considered a worse season than even last year, as they went without a victory for the first time since 2011. Therefore, let's go and look at the bad and the good from the Silver Arrows season. Lewis Hamilton's highest point of the 2023 season was arguably his pole position at the Hungaroring. Hungary has always been a venue Hamilton has had good fortunes at, with 8 wins there, equal to his most at a single venue with Silverstone. The Brit has also taken 8 pole positions at the time, which was joint with Michael Schumacher at Suzuka, himself in Melbourne, and Ayrton Senna in Imola. So with himself fastest in practice 3 and George Russell fastest in practice 1, a Mercedes pole position looks very much on the cards for that weekend. Hamilton ultimately delivered the pole position in one of his greatest laps, taking it by 0.03 of a second from Max Verstappen. This ultimately propelled Hamilton to the most pole positions at a single venue, with now 9 at the Hungaroring, a new record. And as well as this was his first pole position since the 2021 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, with it also being Mercedes' first pole position since the previous year's race at the Hungaroring. The high didn't last though, as Mercedes were unable to capitalise on the pole position, as Hamilton ultimately finished 4th in the race. Podiums were a lot harder to come by this season for Mercedes, as they only finished in the top 3 8 times this season. That's down by 9 compared to the 17 they achieved last year. This number could have been a lot higher if Mercedes hadn't wasted some of their best opportunities this season. Arguably, this could have included the pole position and then finishing 4th in Hungary, Russell's Q1 elimination in Hungary, Russell's lock-up in the rain in Monaco costing him a podium, Russell's Canada and Singapore crashes while fighting for podium/in-podium positions, and Hamilton coming together with Russell at Turn 1 in Qatar. One of the issues that arises from this is the possible inter-team battles between both drivers, maybe costing them some points throughout the season. One of these could be seen in Singapore, where Hamilton was applying pressure to Russell in the later stages of the race after they both pitted for medium tyres. Russell was trying to hunt down Lando Norris, but also had to think about his teammate behind, which may have hindered his progress towards the second place McLaren. But this was more evident in Qatar, when both drivers came together on lap 1 of the race into the first corner, which potentially could have lost them both a double podium if they could have kept up the pace, and maybe more. The question is for Mercedes, as this goes on, how do they determine who is their clear number 1 and number 2 driver, as Hamilton needs to prove he's the faster driver than the new young shot in the team, whereas Russell needs to prove that he's the driver that can take Mercedes into the future of the championship, which does create some conflict. The next issue Mercedes must try and fix are the small mistakes sneaking into George Russell's driving, which as previously mentioned happened when he made contact with the wall in Singapore and Canada while trying to fight for podium positions, and as well his lock-up and contact with Sergio Perez in Monaco, which ultimately cost him 3rd position. These little mistakes cost him a potential 30 points over the season, which may have seen him finish level on points with Lando Norris, and as well, this is not something you expect from a championship quality driver. He also had 4 qualifying sessions this season where he didn't make it to Q3, one of them being his Q1 exit at the Hungaroring. Therefore, going into the future, he must improve his consistency of his driving so that Mercedes can entrust he's a driver that can take them to a world championship. It also mustn't be ignored that Hamilton has also been inconsistent in his qualifying over the season, with himself also missing 4 Q3 sessions over the season. Therefore, I think the word of the season for Mercedes is inconsistency, which also describes their car, the W14, as it really was an unpredictable beast. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and well, hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.